company to say, okay, now I want to have the lead of a company.
Tie every day.
No, it's a little bit different. So that should be one option in the future, to quit music, but then go to the organizing side of.
Right, but always being involved.
Yeah, in music. I think I like this too much to have this all around and playing in big halls, and I think I cannot miss that. Also, the way of living as a musician, that not regular schedules, I like that really. I did it from the very first beginning of starting at the music school. I always liked that better than sometimes very early in the morning, sometimes not, sometimes very late in the evening, and I like that kind of schedule.
Is there anything you think my generation is doing wrong compared to yours?
I think wrong is not a good word. I see some difference, especially like of course we teach now. I teach now since almost 15 years. So we have some different generations already had in our school. And I think I can see a kind of changing of mentality. It's they call it in Holland. They call it the French fries generation or the couch generation.
Yeah.
That people are
French fries couch.
Yes. I don't know how to tell that in English, but you see that young people are getting a little bit more lazy. Everything will come. Oh, don't worry, it will be organized. A lot of times, of course, it's like that. But in music, as you know, as a music student, it's not like that. You have to work really hard.
Yeah.
But what I see, what's different in the time that I was studying, that the mentality of the students by itself was really more strong. Or maybe it became because we were a very strong group of trombone players at that time, that we really inspired each other to be at 8 o'clock in school and work like hell, even when you have a big party the evening before. Be there at 8 o'clock. And if not, you were phoned by your other students. And, hey guy, sorry, we are here. Where are you? And that kind of mentality, I see that's not really at this moment happening with a lot of students. That they work hard, but when they are getting a little bit late in school or skipping lessons, I think a little bit too easy. That's a kind of mentality thing you see everywhere around, that people are just, it's coming, take your time, we have time enough. I think that's not true.
Is there anything my generation is doing better, or you think is more improved?
Yeah, of course. I think the new generation is really more improved with all kind of things like internet, like media things.
Right.
I see also students when they have, of course, we played a lot of the trombone quartet stuff, and we did. I'm sure we did good things. But when my students are doing now sometimes also really good things with trombone quartet, but it's filmed, it's on YouTube. It's I think the exposure of new media. Of course, at that time it was not so. You did not so much to do with websites, and it was new, and especially in Holland, this kind of country like, be normal, don't do the strange things. And I think in the United States in that time already was far more ahead than in Europe, with using websites for yourself. And we were always thinking, it's not necessary. When we are good, you are a good player, you will sell yourself. That's not true.
Right.
At least not in this.
Not today.
No, not today. And I think that's of the new generation is really more clever with that. Or maybe they are just used to do more like a computer. Because I know when I had my first time a computer or first email, but it was already when I was living in Rotterdam. So and I think people who are studying now, just they didn't know better than using email, internet, and how to do with films on the web and everything. And I think that's a good thing.
You said something about a minute ago about your trombone class was really strong. When you were in school, it's really interesting. Your class of trombone students at the Rotterdam Conservatory, now they're all playing in like the major orchestras in the Netherlands, and I guess in Europe in general. Was that just kind of a weird thing? Like literally, like it's not just like people went to the conservatory in the Netherlands and they play in the Netherlands orchestras because they're Dutch, but everyone sounds really amazing. Was it just a coincidence?
I think it's a few things which are happening in that time. It's when you're talking about the beginning of the 90s, between 1919 and 1908. That I think that generation is now what is the new trombone collective. We all studied in that time. I think there was one kind that there was a lot of talented players from all the young wind bands like me and playing, and we came for coincidence, I think, together in Rotterdam. I don't know why, but it happened. It happened like that. And then we had just really amazing teacher, Joe Spiegel, and I think he's one of the best teachers ever. And he made from that kind of really talented class, he made it like a big happening thing, and he organized everything like master classes, and he was not with, oh, it's my students. No, he opened the world also for us, and he let people came in like Michel Becquer. We had a lot of things to do together with him, and we had kind of exchange programs with Lyon, the French music thing, also with Mr. Bruiniger Sloka. He was a few times here. So that opened a lot of stuff. Also a Russian guy, Sumerkin, who's a former principal of the Leningrad orchestra. It's totally different teacher than you cannot imagine. It's like a dictator. But for us in that time, it was amazingly good. He was a guy like, no, you have to do this, and hitting you. And at that time, it worked. And still, those things are in our generation. Oh my God, we have to think about why are you making kicks? And he let you think like that. Yeah. So it was really a strong thing to let it happen. And then I think George also, I told you about the mental things. He learned us to play always for other people, and doing the best and listening very careful to each other to know what's coming out of your bell. And then, I think we had the luck, of course, a lot of talented guys. And then the auditions came also in Holland. At that time, there were a lot of auditions. So that means that we had to have experienced a lot of doing those auditions. But finally, we also won them, all of us. Yeah. So, and that's a thing. It continued like this teaching system. We are still continuing that kind of way of thinking and working with those students. And it turns out that it's still working. That we can, we're still winning auditions with them.
It still works.
It still works. But of course, it's a matter of that students have to play. They have to practice and to play.
Exactly.
But the way you can prepare those guys for auditions, that's something different. We are really putting them. Okay, you have your own idea. It's okay, but like this, you have to prepare it. If not, you will fail. And I think that's a proved concept now. A lot of times, because when I see all those students who are studying the last 20 years, I think all of them, a few of them are they quit playing completely, but the rest they all found a job in the orchestras, and they are working in the music industry. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. What's something you'd like to ask everybody watching?
I think it's a good question to think about when you want to do music or you want to be a musician. Is what sacrifices you're gonna make for being a musician. So, for example, when I'm starting to do my music studies, I had a lot of friends at my hometown wind band where I was playing to, and I want to have them all being in contact with me, and it was nice, and I just don't want to lose them. But after a few months, I was really thinking, this is not going to work, and I think that's really a big sacrifice, because you lose a lot of social things to be a good musician. Of course, you get new things back, but your history will leave you a little bit more. So I want to ask you, if you are being a musician, do you ever thought about that? What it should be like? What kind of sacrifices you have to make to be at the highest level of music playing?
Great question. Alright guys, leave your answers and comments in this section below. If you have any questions, please send us an email to thestorybehindthemusic@gmail.com. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you in the next video.